Hi Pisces, welcome to your September reading. My name is Linda. I've already shuffled the cards and thrown out your spread for you. This reading's for Pisces, Sun, Moon or Ascendant, or if you're cross-watching for a person of interest, you might also find some relevant insight here. This is where you are now, the challenge you face, the resources you can use, the hidden forces, the potential outcome. We're going to take one rune for insight on what the spiritual lesson is in your current situation. Okay, give me a second here. It's an interesting vibe here. There's like a kind of dichotomy, you know, with the Empress in the upright in the position of where you are now. It's an incredibly potent divine feminine energy that is abundant and creative and fertile, fruitful, productive, empowered, physically strong, healthy. It's wellness, it's earth medicine, earth magic, earth wisdom. And then you have these three cards following, Six of Swords reverse, Five of Pentacles reverse, and Eight of Cups reverse, which are all kind of feeling a little bit dramatic. In all three of these cards, there are figures walking away, right? Look, people moving away, people moving away. It's hard to see in this card, but there is someone here who's moving away, walking away. So, and then you have this Queen of Swords in the reverse and the potential outcome. I'm going to jump straight to the rune and see if there's some insight there that will help me tie all this together. Because right now I'm not really sure what all to say to you actually about these cards. This rune is called Yira and it represents harvest. It talks about the results of an earlier effort being realized. A time of peace and happiness, a fruitful season, a breakthrough of stagnancy, hopes and expectations of peace and prosperity, the promise of success earned, life cycle, cyclical patterns of the universe, everything changes in its own time. So that kind of feels connected to the Empress here in your reading. And maybe for some of you watching, there is something here about having actually walked away from something recently. That's perhaps what the Six of Swords is saying here. Maybe you have actually walked away from something here recently, and your challenge is to not turn around and go back to it, as tempting as that may be, right? Because I feel like right now you're in this very empowered position, and if there has been a breakthrough recently as a result of you making a very tough choice to move on and leave something behind that was either toxic or difficult, or even if it wasn't toxic and difficult, maybe you decided to move away or leave something that was actually pretty good, but just it wasn't working for you anymore. That's almost even harder. It can be harder to walk away from something that's actually pretty good, especially if it's a well-paying job or a relationship that like looks great to everyone else from the outside, but if it's not really deeply satisfying you, if it doesn't feel like it's in real true alignment with your authentic self, and you know you need to walk away from it, that can be harder to do because you might be dealing with the expectations of others. You might be dealing with, you know, having to start over again without the support of the resources of a well-paying job or of a partner who you share your finances with or whatever. Could be something like that here. But it does feel like a breakthrough. It did say that in the rune. But the Empress is really giving that as well. There's some kind of cyclical shift that's occurred here. And you, I feel like, are very empowered in this moment, having made some tough choices and dug deep and done the things that the thing that's right for you, when from the outside looking in that might have made everyone, you might have been concerned that would everyone would think that you're crazy for doing that. This Queen of Swords at the end here is a very, very telling, very interesting card, because if what I've just talked about there is relevant for you, then this Queen of Swords at the end of the reading, after you've come through as this Empress first, it could be suggesting here that while you feel empowered in your decision to move on, it might make you feel a little bit isolated, because the Queen of Swords in the reverse there, she can be kind of like out there on her own. She can be a little bit detached. She might be a little bit lonely as well. It might also mean that you might be feeling a little bit unsure of yourself at the moment. Like you could be questioning your decision, and that could be also why the Queen of Swords is in reverse here. You might be feeling like a little bit unsure of your decisions, recent decisions, and maybe having some doubts, because now that you've moved on and you are feeling like that level of detachment and separation. Five of Wands in the reading is very interesting as well, because it's in the position of the resources you can use, and it's in the reverse. So I think it's also, again, it's tapping into this energy of you know, the resources that you might have shared with someone, or the resources that you might have had access to, perhaps in a well-paid job that you have been in that you might not have enjoyed at all. I'm feeling with this Five of Pentacles, what it's talking to me about is, and especially because you have the Empress here as well, which is also very much a card about abundance. It's kind of pointing to the fact that financial comfort might not necessarily be like, it might not actually give you that deep feeling of abundance that's different. Like abundance and prosperity is that feeling of being connected to everything, being connected to life, feeling like you're in alignment with your true authentic self, and you're doing the things that are really meaningful and satisfying to you, even if you don't necessarily make good money from those things at first, let's say. But this kind of spiritual poverty is worse than like, it's like being super unhappy in something that pays well or is like safe and secure and comfortable, but that just eats you up inside and is miserable. So the Five of Pentacles there in the position of the resources you can use, it's talking about an upturn in your own financial experience. Maybe now that you're independent and on your own, and you're focused more on your creative endeavors, you're on your own health and wellness, on what makes you happy and satisfied, knowing that you are a creative force and that your divine feminine energy, regardless of your gender, is nurturing and feeding you constantly with ideas and inspiration. And that's actually what really is giving you a sense of prosperity and abundance, that's nurturing you. But it also could be providing creative ideas that you could then work with to actually create physical wealth and abundance. And now the Eight of Cups is in the position of the reading in what are the hidden forces. So I think some of you who may have made changes recently to walk away from something are realizing that it's what you've needed maybe for a while, and that this is the beginning of a very exciting journey that is a deep quest for your own personal growth and understanding. And it's really important that you do this, that you've done this. It's like I get this feeling that you might have been kind of like starving for some real magic in the conditions that you were in. You know, whatever it is that you've stepped away from here, even though you may feel isolated now, you know that this is really an important part of your spiritual growth and development, and that the journey that you've begun and that you've started to undertake now is one that will fundamentally shift and change who you are as a person, and you really want that. Actually, I think you're ready for this level of discovery now more than ever, and you're ready and willing and able to go through whatever it takes to actually get to the point where you really understand like who you are and what you're here for. It's a really deep spiritual reading, actually. again, I feel like this Queen of Swords in reverse is really telling in that you know that like you're here on this journey alone, and you're doing it willingly because you know that that's a fact. We're all here by ourselves on our own journey, and our quest is one that only we can do alone, regardless of whether or not friends, family, partners, whatever. But this is your journey to undertake. This is your spirit quest. This is your, you know, vision quest, vision journey, whatever you want to call it. And you're ready to kind of go through what might be a dark period in order to get to those places within you that maybe are still hidden from you. The shadow work that needs to be done, the exploration that needs to be done, the excavation that needs to be done to reveal hidden truths that are in you that you know will help you expand, that will help you understand, that will help you evolve and grow and discard what you don't need and shed the layers that maybe you've been kind of holding on to keep you feeling somewhat safe and protected. But you know that it's time now to kind of start to peel the onion and get down to business. So this is a breakthrough moment for sure for Pisces. I'm feeling that. It's taken a lot of courage to make the decisions that you've made, to break out of the loop that you've been in or the spell that you've been under, to pursue your own destiny in your own way, in your own time. So make sure you just give yourself that moment to acknowledge that what you've done so far is already very brave, and that you have what it takes to go through this process of the Eight of Cups, to explore and uncover what more is ahead for you, what else there is for you in this life. So Pisces, thank you so much for watching. It's been an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.